Let me just take a little pee. What? Yeah, sorry, taking a leak. Be right back. And there he is. So, tired before we start. That's a good thing. Hello, YouTube. It's not them two, but YouTube, because one will be watching this. What's the point? I bought some webcams to make life easier. I've done a lot of laps in Formula Ultimate lately. Not showing it to anybody because typically it's a bit boring, but I figured a couple of webcams, just stream it. That's what you're supposed to do these days. Show your face in the process. I have no idea what that adds to anything, but feed cam, that might help. What I did lately was drive a lot of laps on the same track and then with the same car setup. And when I say a lot of laps, like 70, 80 laps, like getting proper sweaty. And then the next day I do it again with a change to the setup to avoid the trap of making, like clicking those buttons in the car setup screen without really giving it a good chance. So we'll see how it goes. Might not look at chat all that often. And yeah, I have a very sporty outfit because it will be quite hot and sweaty with the direct drive, with the firm brake pedal, and it's actually summertime. Where I did it, yeah, just glancing outside. It's quite nice weather and I'm upstairs here, so it's a bit warm. And I just get reduced to a sweaty mess. So if you ever see these headphones when you're around here, don't put them on. They've gathered years of sweat. So yeah, I'll just do a lap, see how it goes. I'll come back to chat every now and then. It's not really the point, like streaming this is not, I'm just gonna see how it goes and if anybody finds it interesting. It's more I want to be concentrated and do those laps, so I won't talk that much. I might check in with chat periodically. I don't expect a lot of you to be watching this, and there are probably better streamers you should be watching. But I'm just really gonna try and do my best to get consistent laps. And well, we'll see how it goes. So keep your complaints ready, and we'll see where we end up. Alright. To the game sim. It always screws up the mirrors. So oh, that sound! Nice. Stop. Stop! Nah. Where? What? Okay, whatever. I thought I knew my game, but apparently I don't. Anyway, this is the Formula Ultimate, but as usual when I do streams or videos, it's probably been tweaked because I'm looking for some physics thing, changing the tires or the engine mapping, so this is not quite the same as you have it. Just a random default setup. I'll start from here and do lots of laps. And I'll check in after 10 laps or so to see if it's how it's going. Oh, forgot one thing. I have to install cheat tires. Because that's what I've been... that's a little bug. I'm not sure if that's in the final version, but it sometimes forgets. Yeah, now it remembers. Okay, ultra softs. Because more grip is better. Streaming. I'm too old for this shit. Not been to this track for a long time, so let's hope that times will tumble. Haven't driven the Ultimate here much at all. So there's no fuel use, no tire wear. Aim is to be consistent. Find my limit. And then to make a setup change for the next day or whenever I do this again. And then we spend another 2 hours driving, so that's gonna be lots and lots of laps. Too easy to fall in that trap of making a change to the setup, doing 5 laps to assess it. I really want to spend like 80-90 laps. Getting the most out of it, and also looking at how I can change my driving instead of blaming it on the setup. It's notoriously hard to change your driving. Yet it can be quite useful to drive around issues that the car setup has, or at least in your mind it's the car setup, but so hard to then adapt. We'll see how that pans out. I'm looking at my frame rate there, it's dipping. Hang on. That's insufficient frames. Doesn't seem all that bad. But it's not quite... No, 100. I ain't got time for 100 frames per second, jeez. Yeah, that should be good. Hang on, let's see if anything's too high. Fool! Who came up with that? Oh. I do need my 120 frames here. I have no idea if this will make any difference. At all. Probably not. Shadows are a big thing, but let's hope the circuit detail... I hope so. Graphics cards are about $1 million these days, aren't they? Off to a great start. Can't even get the frame rate right. So why do I want 120 frames? Well, the screens are 60 Hertz still. I haven't upgraded yet. Favorite, thank you very much. Do you remember? No, it still applies to soft tires. Give me the ultras. Thank you very much. With 60 Hertz screens and the frame rate capped to 120. Hey, hang on, those are not bugs. Sorry, it doesn't seem to have applied the ultra softs there. Because they are yellow, right? Let's just hope for the best. Whoa. Ooh. 120 frames is required to really be smooth. So the frame rate is the double of the refresh rate. It does drop, but it doesn't feel too bad. I'll just see how it goes. First lap in a long ass time. Let's see. Building it up slowly is the plan. When you know there's something not quite right, so the frame rate isn't there, even though it seems okay, it's so hard to get that off my mind. Oh, spin. Yeah, this car has a clutch pedal. Every time you see it a bit like stuttering a little bit, you probably don't see it, but I pick it up a little bit more being here. I think that frame rate's too low, that frame rate's too low, and I think that too much. You're gonna be crashing. I could cap the frame rate to 60 because the screens are 60 Hz, but it is a little less smooth somehow. Only since I have this pedal cam I see my right foot being at an angle. I never knew I did that. The clutch has a big dead zone on it, so if I press it a little bit, it doesn't do anything. It's not secret technique. What's here then? Sorry. Do I even need that? No, we don't need that. Oh. Not locking up into turn 1. It's gonna be, as I get used to limit braking, a bit difficult. You start to turn in, the front left unloads. Easy to lock it up. Yeah. Oops. The finest clutch control ever seen in a more modern Formula 1 inspired car. Obviously that was the frame rate. That's quite low. Cannot put it out of my mind. Well, it's the first time I do this, right? So you cannot expect it to go smooth. Get it? Get it? A display. Let's see if we just put the shadows on low and we don't need special effects. How about that? We just need a couple more frames, but you sometimes don't know where they come from. Day 1. Apply those ultra softs again and say a prayer to the frame rate gods. Using the NVIDIA Enco. NVIDIA encoder should be pretty good. Perhaps the halo is costing me some frames. Ah, this is terrible. Terrible, c'est terrible, c'est pas possible, merde alors. Sorry. I don't know French, just pretend sometimes. I'll restart it without liaising. That's gonna be that's the fix. Sorry, no game there. Oh, ooh, I have to act mirrored. That's weird. Meanwhile, some feet. Wee. Apologies. Turning off anti-ali something. Anti-aliens. Secret AMS version. Double click. DirectX 12. No, we don't have that. La. Off. How about that? None. That's probably good. Disable that. Have we fixed anything? Probably not. This tends to go like that. Let's tweak stuff until it goes worse. Retry. Hope this doesn't break it. Ryza Studios, buy our stuff. It's pretty good. Pum. Am I looking? I'm looking there. Yeah. Oh, we're there. Okay, that's good. That's good. Fingers crossed for the frame rate. Okay, well AA is off. That's for sure. Watch a 2-hour stream where Neil struggles to get 120 frames per second. Must see. No dips, no dips. How about without the speed limiter? Ooh, no AA though. That's a bit ugly. But much smoother. Did I put ultra softs on? I don't know. No dips yet. No dips. Turn 1, 2, 3 is the worst, so we'll have to see there. I only started using anti-aliasing like half a year ago, but it does make things nicer. 120, 20, yes, please. So far so good, okay, well. GTX 970 is a bit old by today's standards, I guess. For streaming and all that. Okay, that's good, that's good. Now just make sure, I probably did it because it felt grippy, but want to make sure we got those ultra softs. We might finally be doing some laps. Without the frame rate to blame. there is a line on your screen right about, okay, let's do this mirrored, there. So I'm using multi-view because I've got my triple screen angled towards me. And if you look carefully at the uttermost right and left strip, you'll see a little kink in the image there because the multi-view corrects the perspective. Looks a little odd, but at least you get a bit more field of view in the stream, because otherwise you're really looking through like binoculars. I feel I might want to turn the HUD back on with pedal bars above the pedal bars. You cannot quite see the brake pressure from the camera, so pedal bar would still make sense. Let it roll. Five down, over the curb. Time your DRS. Oh, no, no. Don't press DRS when that's happening. Suicide by early DRS deployment. So I'm still really not anywhere near limits here. This is probably not gonna happen today. I have to get used to this camera being pointed at my increasingly sweaty face. To learn to act as if it's not there. It will become very easy to act as if nobody's watching, because that's probably gonna happen. But a bit wimpy on the brake pedal. Oh, that's fast. like this, but then 80 laps. Oh, no, not like that! Ugh. Oh, man. My driving was quite reasonable last week on a different track, so I run out and buy some cameras. A 38-year-old getting in on the streaming act. Overestimated this. So in me there is a horrible driver and a horrible comedian. And they fight for attention. Comedian wins. Well, everybody loses. Ow. 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 Oh. That hurt. Ow. I pinched the wheel weirdly. That corner always feels like you can go twice as fast. Sometimes when I film or stream, I have wobbly leg syndrome. I don't know what it is. It's stage fright. A bit. Like it's a pasta. Like what do you call it? Strand? Pasta strand? What? I'm thinking not braking, just downshift. Downshift for that one in the fast right-hander. It's a mistake I tend to make where there are really fast corners, but not quite flat out. It's often quicker to let the car roll into it off the throttle. Let that do your slowdown, rather than giving it a spike of the brake pedal, which is somehow, I tend to do that, and then it upsets everything and it's not as smooth and not as quick. such a difficult corner there. Sort of crests a little bit. The merest touch of the brake pedal. I will do some big ass party if I ever get that final corner correct. Improvements. I missed that right apex there. And that one. Rear lock up. Might even try third gear. Rest timing getting better, it's a good sign. Still left, some time left in the braking. Like I said, I got wobbly leg syndrome today. It's a weird driver excuse. Oh, you saw that, it sort of washed out a bit. It's too sudden brake pedal release. Not smooth. Nope, that party ain't gonna happen at this rate. That's why I like the lap, it's quite short. Plenty of laps in a short time. Quite challenging to what fun is a track that you know well and drive well. Fifth gear then? No. Well, perhaps. More to the inside here. It's time to be had there. Not sure if I should be using the brake or not, or lifting a little earlier. Again, that washout. My fault. That's the best last turn I did so far. So 114 thousandths behind. Will I make that up just by that one corner exit? Nope. Fourth gear again here. I wanted to get a better exit. It's another thing I mentioned earlier, fast corners where it might be better just to do a little bit of a lift and then enter, scrubbing the speed off that way, where I tend to brake. I also tend to be trying too hard everywhere, like entry, braking, corner entry and corner exit. But if for in some way I can change that and focus more on the exits, but 20 years of sim racing habits, they don't get changed that easily. Oh, that's not an apex. Bit of washout. Not smooth, not smooth. The thing is so fast, the car is so quick. With like a touring car, you have all the time in the world, and the speed of the car matches your driving skill, so you only have to predict it so little. It's always fine, but this thing is so quick. Sometimes you predict what's gonna happen. You still have to do that, kinda, but it's there's less time, basically, to do everything. That sometimes catches up with you. So at the end of this straight I have to go down 4 gears, make sure I come off the brake nicely, enter and go back on the throttle. It's easier if you completely ignore the braking and entering. You have to do the braking and entering at least reasonable, and I focus on the exit, but I go 110% in and out. A bit less throttle. Getting a bit warm. A bit. That was a lot of curb. Poor exit. Reasonable entry. See, I entered too early, I think, there. But every time I try to enter later, I still screw up. Let's try to do that 7. Do-over for that turn 1. Felt alright. Hard on the throttle. Bit of oversteer. That's a very small delta, just that moment out of the final turn. I'm not thinking this is the 7. Oh, it is. Nice. Well, on to the 6 then. Not nice, not nice. You saw the washout on entry again. Messed it up, final corner. Better. talk with the camera, my body language will tell you how I feel. Out of turn 1, just a little bit of oversteer that made me completely miss my apex. That's late, that's late, that's late, that's late. Who knows, that exit wasn't terrible, wasn't great. Get down low. Ah. Quite a bit more time in it though. Not like that. Yeah, full throttle there or not is a little scary. At least it wasn't overdriven out of the final turn, but probably a little slow. Almost had a moment there. Definitely had a moment there. And a moment there. And a moment there. Let's try to have a moment here. Never works when you go for it. Be in line anyway. Binary with my throttle there. That was looked good for a minute. It's an instant. Very tempting to force the understeer out of the way. Every time I'm not sliding, it feels like I'm slow. But I'm not. All fine, all fine. These washouts are a bit mainly caused by sudden inputs, sudden removal of brake pedal pressure. But then it becomes understeer. When you try to force the issue with the understeer, you get oversteer again. Nope, not this lap. Oh. Bumpy curves. What? Tire wear is off. Must be me wearing down. Starting to drool oil. Out, followed by oversteer. It's predictable. Wasn't that slow though. Split time tells another story. Oh, stutter. ay, ay. Just happened too fast. Oh, I was negative. Damn. Oh, man. How does a mod mic deal with water? Probably not very good. Sorry. Oh. Sweat in this region. Soaked boy. Ah, water with a bit of lemon juice in it. Couple more laps, I'll have a look at chat then, see if everybody's pointing and laughing. I was trying too hard. Stop trying too hard. no change of car setup, it's trying to fix it through the driving. Why? Why? Tell me why. Come on. Not sure that was good enough. Crap. Watch out, come on! Nope. Ah, crap. Briefly there for a couple of laps. That's what I try to do with these streams. But hopefully managed to do that like 70 out of the 90 laps rather than just a couple where I'm in the zone. Out of the zone. Yep, we are. Yep, we are. Have a zone, it's more like little dots that are sometimes teeny weeny. I am going to see if anybody's watching this. Oh. When streaming starts to include the smell, I'm sure everybody would run away. Let's look at those. Oh, IV, I need some of that. So, oh, laps. Lots of laps, some more laps. See, if I didn't screw up there, that would be a nice couple of laps. 00287. Forget that. 10. So you think I'm done? Well, I'm not. Physically I am, but mentally I'm stupid enough to think I'm not. I think I changed the controls to stop the replay. It's a bit annoying. Let's check with chat. Is anybody there? Am I even still streaming? I have no idea. Oi, oi, oi. That's moist, very moist, sorry. It's actually a bit of a workout. Now I'm not in great physical shape, he says. Well, I am trying to improve it a little bit. So I got a rowing machine there and a cycle ergometer thing. And sim racing as well. But at this age it seems to be tricky to get into shape. So, well, anyone... Let's see if any questions got asked. So Martin asked me about the head movement. So head movement is all zero. Cockpit vibrations, everything's turned off. In the player file, I believe, there's a vibration multiplier, 2 multipliers. That's all off. And then in game, I've got the camera settings to something. Let me go back to that. So where is that? No, display. Zero head movements. Lock to horizon 100%. So that makes the horizon more steady. And the cockpit shakes a bit. And with triple screen, with the small field of view, it gets very disorienting when the horizon goes like that. And I'm like that looking at the bouncy horizon. Whereas in real life your head sort of filters out the pitching of the car a bit. So that's helps me to see where I am going. Wouldn't it be quicker to rest the left foot on the brake? Well, I moved my foot towards the brake pedal before actuating it, and resting it on the brake is a bit tricky. Before you know it, there's 1 or 2% braking applied and you lose a few kilometers an hour. Let's just scroll up, there's not that much happening. The good thing about streaming is you can pretend to catch up with chat while you're just catching your breath. So 60 Newton meter Leo Bodnar, it's not quite clipping. I know the real Formula 1 cars have power steering, not really sure what sort of force levels they run. I like to have the force feedback reasonably high even on this sort of car, just to have a good amount of feel left in the slow turns, because the force builds up a lot in the faster turns when the downforce acts on the car. If you make the force feedback very light, then at the low speed it feels like there's nothing there. And it helps to overdrive a bit less when there is a bit more feedback there. Haha, face physics. No, not a €50 graphics card. What's a GTX 970 go for these days? Some AMS specific things. Well, we're pretty much near the end. I cannot really go into that too much, what we're doing. So the edges of the screen, like, oh yeah, this is that, oh, that's mirrored there and on there. Yay! The little strips are deformed because of the triple screen that I'm using. I did try VR with rFactor 2 for quite a bit, and Project Cars 2. I was so surprised about the low resolution. It really sort of, wow, surprisingly bad. Now I knew it would be poor, but it was worse than I thought. Those pedals look awful. So let me make a note. Remove sponsorship. Jimmy Broadband. Yep, that's done. Actually, these are pedals from 2014. Pretty much the first Pro pedals we ever built. Got a set of those here. Still going fairly strong. I should do a race. Yeah, I realize this is a bit boring because I'm just doing lapping. I'm battling myself. It's the only one I'm battling with. So energy recovery, it's hard coded into this Formula Ultimate. So each gear has a certain amount of torque and power matched so that there is a blend of like fake, well, battery torque, electronic torque, and regular engine torque. And it's more in like the middle gears where you need the acceleration. That's where most of the extra power comes. And then in 8th gear there is not as much. So it's sort of hard coded. The ERS and all that stuff is hard coded into the engine for now. Every single corner is power sliding out. Yeah, that's my problem. I'm trying to work on that here. Scrolling through, still catching my breath. Roleb Nubby is a bit of a hater. Well, you gotta have your first hater on. That's like a tap on the shoulder when you got your hater on stream. Ice skating, well, if it was ice skating I wouldn't be sweating that much. Jeez. Scrolling. It is kind of like a Williams 2018 simulator though, yeah, it feels like it. And I'm also relatively of the caliber of the Williams driver, so not quite there with the best ones. Well, that's more or less caught up with that. Is there a setting in the player or anywhere that allows the camera to roll? That's a good question. It's a little... you can do some very complicated things with the head physics file and make the camera do this, lean into the corners. Oh, lock to horizon, but for roll. That is possible if you have access to the camera files. Now, of course, I run the development version of Automobilista, so I have access to all the files. More power for me, sometimes. No, not really. There's an orientation rate in the camera file for each car, and let me just actually look that up for you. Nobody minds wasting some time there. Game data. I hope you have access to the camera file. I think you do. The cam file in game data, vehicles, and then your car, and then in the cam file there is a line I've taken here from I'm not sure if this is exactly the same. Pitch, yaw, roll. So I'm entering the line. I think if you use this line, there is no roll in the camera. So if you go through a banked corner, your head will, the horizon will still be horizontal, really. That's about it. The physics aren't too fast. I am too fast. One thing with Interlagos that we don't simulate in Automobilista is that it's quite high altitude. And that actually does mess with the power quite a bit. It also reduces downforce. It also reduces drag, so the car top speed is probably about the same, but you wouldn't have as much downforce. And of course it's all just a make-believe representation of the car, and I'm not sure what laps they will do this year. It's all a bit of a, there is some gray area, but the power loss is quite severe though at Interlagos. And we are pretending Interlagos is at sea level, so we got more power. Alright, I'm gonna do more laps, because why not? Only streaming for 1.5 hours, that's lame. Off we go, see if we can improve. Sigh. Who knows? Things might happen. Resisting the urge to change anything to the car setup, but it's not there where we find the time. Oh, wet t-shirt contest. Burp. Reminds me, I wanted to turn those pedal bars back on. You cannot see the pressure I'm putting in. Oh, that's late. Stick to the inside, I'm thinking. 8th gear moment. Slides there in turn 1 and 2 and 3. Two tenths. Tenths, I mean, not tenths. take an inside curve there, Niels. sure about... Right foot messes it up once again. Identical split. Not the best final turn. Aha! thinking about the lap, forgetting I'm still doing 200 miles an hour. Inside of turn 2. Lock up. Try that again. Not that, please. I'd like to change the setup for the next time, trying to give it a bit more traction out of the slow corners. A bit more understeer there and perhaps a bit more oversteer. The high speed corners, I can probably deal with that, he thinks. So now I'm always getting too much oversteer. What I should be trying, could be trying, is make the exits more like straight. So not apply the power here where I've still got lots of lock applied, but wait a little bit, the car a bit straighter. But I'm an old man, how am I supposed to learn that? I'm not old, I don't consider myself old. It's just I feel old sometimes. final turn we needed. It was. No, 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 no. Didn't panic. Totally didn't panic. I never panic. It's not an option to panic. Getting a bit sore in the old knees. Five. Yeah, all there. I think we've peaked. 77 laps. But it felt like I was still improving a little bit with consistency in my line through turn 1, especially turn 2. Stick to the inside a bit more. This one I still haven't managed to get right. I'm more pleased how I take turn 4 now. 4th gear, and then you can sort of floor it and let it move to the outside. He does it again, almost. Nope, saved it. These magic not wearing tires are wearing off. So this one in 4th gear. Earlier entries, what I never did before, and then I could floor it quite nicely. Here I'm still all over the place. I got some understeer here, so I have to probably slow it down enough to get rid of the understeer. And then get on the throttle in 6th gear there. Braking into this is always difficult, but I had my moments. Here avoid too early throttle application. Here I've managed to not get oversteer once. It's sort of, well, there's banking and then it just falls away a little. Be a bit more patient. So what am I going to do to the setup next time? Well, first of all, I did this before on another track, and setup changes, I mean, it's mainly me. If I'm smoother with my throttle, I'll be quicker. If my brake release is a little better, I'd be quicker. Then my lines will be more precise, I will be a bit quicker. But what I can try and do is mechanically soften the rear end. So probably the dampers a bit, because that's how it reacts on the bumps. And anti-roll bar. That will make it generally more understeery, but add a couple of clicks front wing to compensate, because I think at the high speed I've got a reasonable feel for it. I want it to be a bit less scary going on the throttle. Sometimes making a setup more oversteery fixes that, because now if I'm in understeer and I start to floor it, I'm gone. So if the setup is more oversteery, you don't have to force the issue. But I think what we'll see is that it's going to be a couple of tenths, which might just as well be another 70-80 laps experience that I will have by then. So I do find this interesting. I'm not sure if you do, but doing so many laps, the fact that it's physical for me, I get a bit of exercise, helps. Trying to keep my concentration for 80 laps, doing it again with a different car setup, and probably once or twice more. I'll save the car setup each day, and then after a couple of days I can go back to the first setup, see what time I do with that. If it was all just more experience, or if the setup actually worked. differential perhaps. Oh, whoa, whoa. Well, that had to happen at least once. That's power lock. We don't have an active differential, sadly. Equal split. Equal split again. Bad. Another final turn moment. Stick to the inside and floor it, he thought. Still, I was fairly pleased. Those were some pretty consistent laps. There is still room for improvement. Negative split. Anxiety. Going to still, you know, if there's one thing you can't blame me for is lack of trying. 86 laps. Oh, yeah. Keep your eyes open. Messed up turn 1, resulting in messed up turn 2. This corner is still something I have to get consistent at. So I'm thinking, even for the next attempt, I shouldn't be messing with the car setup. I still think there is a lot more to be had with my driving than with the car setup, but I have an instinctive tendency to blame it on the car. Fix it with random mouse clicks. Oh, that's too late, you dumbass. Well, perhaps it wasn't too bad, but it was. Felt slow. wash out again. Too abrupt. Throttle lift, downshift, don't know. Wash out again. Oh, well, isn't that the first spin of at least the last 1.5 hours? You didn't hear that, sorry. Laps though, reasonably good. Not unhappy with that. Quite unhappy with that. There was no wall touched. This is my main problem. The line here is all messed up and I'm fighting the setup, I do think, a little bit. Trying to force it a bit to not get understeer. You have to be so careful on the throttle, but the few times I've managed to control my right foot, it was alright. If it would just accept my throttle a little bit easier out of these turns. But it's still just as well fixed by less throttle. Also not sure about turn 1, 2 and 3 actually. Is there any corner I'm happy with? I am improving there on the exit. I might be a bit later on the throttle, later into the corner. Seems I might have been moving there just a tad. very late on the brakes. Yeah, that exit there. Definitely sliding less there. Let's see, final couple of laps. Come on! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah! That 98 out of 100 coming up. Whoa, that's bad. That's terrible. What happened? Lap 99 out of 100 coming up. Yeah, just try harder. That's how we do for better lap times. I need some titanium knees. Well, this is actually up 100. Yeah, okay, it wasn't my final lap. I'm getting delusional now. Well, let's look at those laps. It wasn't terrible. In fact, at the end there, I got more consistent. A few places. Still not knowing what I'm doing in quite a few others, but yeah, quick count, that's all good. That's gonna take a while. "100 laps. How did those last?" See, now this is I'm pleased with. 7, 9, 7, 8, 8, 7. Oopsie! And then back at it again. I think we can ready for the shower now. Quit game. Well, no, hang on. It must have saved the odd lap. How about actually turning on some shadows for this, Niels? Yeah, let's do that. Max. In Holland we need max everything. Get it? Let's watch it first and then see if we'll need to zoom in at. That's me, that is. On the throttle already, yeah. Little wiggle. No wiggle there, that's good. Well, that was a lap. Sadly, the field of view you have in the cockpit translates to the chase cam as well. Let's see how it looks from inside. That's loud ass! little annoying, but we'll do it anyway. Quite a wide entry. About as much curve as I dare, so this becomes more straight. Bit of sliding here, neutral. Yeah, double apex there. Could have taken more curve. Well, not too bad necessarily. All right. Yeah, I did not want full screen. It's a little bit hidden. There it is. "100 laps. That's how you look after. Feed cam waves bye-bye. Thanks for washing. I need to be washed. So yeah, lots of laps on my own. Plenty of challenge in trying to beat yourself. Without like spending 5 laps and then tweaking car setup and driving another 5 laps, and I find that I just don't do it in a few laps. So I need 100. And there's still time to be had, but yeah. So also every time I do Automobilista, most likely I'm tweaking something in the tires or whatever, so there is different grip levels than in the current release version. I'm always juggling my balls. No, not doing that. Juggling balls, juggling physics, balls, stress balls. So they're always a bit different. Well, let's see how that goes. Thank you for watching. Since it is quite easy for me now, I'll probably do this again. I fully realize this is not like super high quality professional content, but for the few of you who would like to see somebody suffer for 100 laps, well, who knows. Thanks guys, bye bye. How do I stop this from doing something? Stop streaming.